recording, and then I'll let you know once we're actually.
Welcome everyone. We are here for our third match of week 2, featuring Weeee the Squirts and One in a Krillion. How you doing today, Frag?
I'm doing great, Fat. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. This has been a wonderful experience so far. We've had some really excellent games coming into our second week of matches with both Weeee the Squirts and One in a Krillion now having won their first games. Gonna see who takes the lead in this match today.
Yeah, I am very interested to see both these teams go up against each other. Weeee the Squirts went 4-3 in their first week, and One in a Krillion went 4-0. So these should be pretty well matched teams, and should give us quite a display here tonight. Just a little bit of explanation. We are in week 2 of the Day Old Sushi anniversary tourney. So remind us, Fat, you're a TO here. How many weeks of group stage do we have? What's the format of this tournament?
So we have 10 teams that have been seeded, not 10 teams that have entered on their own, but have been seeded by the TO team in the interest of getting players to play with others that haven't played together before in a competitive environment, and a mixture of skill levels. So we have kind of like a built-in sort of mentorship with more advanced players playing against some newer ones. And of that, we created 10 teams who will be competing over the course of 5 weeks in pools. So each team will fight 5 other teams over the course of 5 weeks. After which we'll be taking the top 4 teams into a double elimination bracket, which should last another 4 weeks.
Fantastic. Yeah, this is a great evolution of the DOS beginners tourney that took place a number of months ago. That was a really fantastic tourney and had lots of participation from within the server. I do see that the teams are now getting set. We are about to launch into game 1 of this week 2 set between Weeee the Squirts and One in a Krillion. They are picking their comps right now, and let's see what is up first on the map list. We have Tower Control on, not Ship Shape. What is the other new one? I'm blanking on the name, Pat.
Crab Leg Capital is our first map of the day.
Crab Leg Capital, Tower Control. This is a brutal map, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say, I know that you were on the team that helped select this. What I notice is that the first checkpoint, it goes right up to the enemy spawn. So it's pretty difficult to get through that first checkpoint. And then the tower kind of wraps back around before going to the second and third checkpoint.
It is an interesting tower path. It sort of reminds me of Piranha Pit back in Splatoon 2, kind of turned on its side. With Piranha Pit, you had sort of the side-to-side motion of the tower path, to kind of snaking around. This you have a sort of similar snake around, first going, like you said, up just about to where that enemy drop is, right up by the spawn, and then back quite far away, giving a nice point for longer range weapons. I expect to see some longer range weapons on the tower and maybe getting into some more aggressive positions on those top stacks. And here we go.
Absolutely. Let's see what they have for comps.
All right, on Weeee the Squirts, looks like we have Hydra Splatling, Tri-Slosher, T-Tech, and a Junior. On the other side of one of the Krillion, we have the Inkline Tri-Stringer, Flash-O-Matic, the normal Splatter Shot, and the Glugadoolies.
Yeah, we see those Glugadoolies coming out again from AO. He has a lot of interesting choices. I'm really looking forward to see what other weapons they tend to use on this map, or in this set.
Yeah, not a very common pick, but I can imagine Booyah being very useful on tower control here. Still just jockeying for position in the middle with the Junior finally going down. Ooh, and 2 going down on the side of Weeee the Squirts. 3 down now, with just the Hydra Splatling up. Looks like we are inching towards breaking this first checkpoint. Nice Booyah, and 4 more seconds of the tower to have them pass through checkpoint 1.
After all that work, build up over the first checkpoint, they just breeze right through. That's all thanks to the positioning and fighting going on elsewhere on the map. We have one in the Krillion really taking a dominant position here at the beginning of this game. Oh, look at that inkjet coming out. Go ahead.
Very nice. Very nice. And with that jump out here, we seem to have regrouped here, stopping that second checkpoint. Looking like we're getting a lot of yellow ink on the map.
Iz pops out a Zuka right away to try to slow this push down a little bit, but Admiral IHOP gets the pick, and now we have Squirts breaking through the first checkpoint for themselves.
2 down. A very similar looking scene with the Booyah landing on that drop with an ink strike to back it up. Oh, and 2 more down on the side of one in the Krillion.
There is no one from one in the Krillion anywhere to be seen near this tower. I think we might see a lead flip here. There it is, and then some. Onigiri coming out with the crab, and Admiral IHOP popping it with a Booyah bomb. Not going to get much value out of that crab that way, Fat.
Right, and with the bubble on tower getting a few extra points, they are 2 down, but still inching ahead. We've got to follow the tower, just raining havoc with that Tri-Slosher, and there it is with the inkjet and a couple more jumps to tower. That first game goes to Weeee the Squirts.
And I apologize, I was having a little trouble there with the camera. I'm trying to get into auto camera. I think somehow I have it turned off. It just wasn't kicking in, so we'll deal with that as we go forward.
Yeah, just make sure that your switch is set to good and not evil, Frag.
Oh, I don't know if I can promise anything there. Wow, that was I want to say a pretty short game, considering all of the matches we've seen so far in this tournament. We had one big push from each side, but Weeee the Squirts came out on top.
Yeah, it seemed like both were able to get what they wanted up to the point of that first checkpoint, but that second check being the key to victory there, getting past that kind of like awkward backwards moving low ground. Well, still anyone's game as we go into game 2. Rainmaker on Meko Mart. You got 1 or 2 things to say about Meko Mart here, Frag, don't you?
As a range blaster player, you know I do. Yeah, this is one of my favorite maps to play. Absolutely, Meko Mart. And honestly, all the modes. I think it's a great map. It's designed really well. With Rainmaker, however, you tend to have a pretty direct shot. Like some other maps, you have kind of a one checkpoint that might be a bit closer to their spawn, and then another checkpoint off to the side, maybe a little bit more difficult to get to, a little bit longer, but perhaps safer. If you are these teams, what sort of comps are you thinking about going into this match?
I'm thinking that I want speed. If we're looking to, kind of gambit on having that quick right path, having speed and fast killing weapons is going to promote that as best as possible. So speed and mobility. At the same time, if you need to take that left route, you want to be able to maneuver around some of those odd jumps, being able to do some nice clever squid rolls at the right time is going to give you a huge advantage. So mobility is going to be the name of the game here.
Absolutely. And I would imagine we'll see those backlines come out again as we head into game 2 of this set.
Right, and here we go. Rainmaker on Mako Mart. We have a heavy splatling, Price Slosher, 10 attack splatter shot, and it ends up 85 on Weeee the Squirts. And on one in a Krillion, we have 10 attack splatter shot, a custom jet squelcher, Price Slosher Nouveau, and a Dread Ringer, which I believe might be one of the first times that we've seen it.
And look who it is. It's Ao, just like I said. He coming out with those really interesting picks, and I agree. I think this is the first time we've seen it in this tournament.
Reef Slider becoming a more popular option in Rainmaker for its ability to instantly pop it, taking good advantage of that range right now. Here it comes.
A little back and forth between our back lines. No one has opted to pick up the Rainmaker yet, but one of the Krillion certainly has an advantage on the field, but no. It is Admiral IHOP, their backliner, picks up the Rainmaker coming up front, gets reset.
See that flank from Evolve here getting called out, unfortunately. So that starts to turn purple. 2 down to the side of Weeee the Squirts, one of the Krillion inching forward.
Looks like Sushi will, Sushi will push the Rainmaker all the way back and get that splat. The Rainmaker's popped, blue. One of the Krillion hoping to make a push here. And there's that Inkjet coming out again. Inkjet gets knocked out of the sky by Onigiri. Setting up for that push on the left.
Oh, and the wipeout to stop that push.
Weeee the Squirts are setting up pretty good positioning here. Looks like they could get this knockout before anybody comes out from one of the Krillion.
Yeah, opting to take that left path again, that much safer option, and we've got another flight coming in. Ooh, a very, very nice pinch there coming in from Evolve. That flank really bought a lot of time.
Yeah, Krillion is hoping to stop them right here. Do not let them continue, but no, Evolve says we are getting through here. They're picking it up, they're running it down to 32, 31 points. They're still going.
Help coming through, and there's the dunk. Game 2 going to Weeee the Squirts.
Incredible game. That final push there. Incredible. Okay, it's just trying to get my scores here. So now we have Weeee the Squirts 2, one in a Krillion 0. Really excellent displays from both teams. But once again, Weeee the Squirts, just that second push, just like the first game, they're able to edge it out and secure that win fat.
Definitely. That bit of patience there right before taking it to the goal, taking that time to set up on the opponent's snipe, and giving Evolve time to sneak behind and take down a couple of players from behind on the side of one in a Krillion, giving that space and that time and that ink so that they could go for that dunk.
Absolutely.
Just a reminder, everyone, our stream today is sponsored by the Inkline Tri-Stringer. Not as bad as you'd think, not as good as you'd hoped. Inkline Tri-Stringer.
I think that Dread Ringer would like to say something about that last match.
All right, going into Clam Blitz Brinewater Springs, we have Weeee the Squirts 2 up on winning the Krillion. Bragg, if you're one in Krillion right now, we're going into this third match. What are we thinking? What are we looking to do to make an? Are we looking to make any adjustments? Are we looking to stick to our guns? What are we thinking going into game?
These are 2 really evenly matched games, evenly matched teams. No game has been a blowout for one team or the other. They're both putting up a good fight. So I think we just say, slow it down, keep the focus. Really focus on our clams economy. Make sure that we have clams ready to go for our push, and that we're not fumbling trying to create a clam when we find ourselves in that position underneath their basket.
Definitely. The key with this map, getting through that last little choke right at the bottom, finding that weight of pressure from above those ledges, those weapons like possibly even seeing a Dread Ringer or some kind of sloshing machine, ranged blaster, something that can get over top of those ledges. Specials like Booyah Bomb and Ink Strike that can pop over and paint a path for them to the goal.
Absolutely. You want your specials to move the enemy out of that area. Here we go. Game 3. It's all on the line. What do we have for comps?
Side of Weeee Squirts. We've got mostly the same comp, switching now to the heavy Deco and the NZAP 89. And we see yet another switch of weapons with now a Splatana Wiper and the L3D, if I'm not mistaken. Not a weapon that you see very often, once again, by AO.
Yeah, this is one that we saw in week 1 from AO. These really unique weapon choices. AO's trying to go for a little bit of a flank here, but he's taken out by a bomb. Map looks pretty neutral so far, Fat. However, looks like Krillion has a couple power clams. One goes down. Can they make anything of this?
Just inching forward, a couple specials to get a little bit more position. We see IHOP moving up a little bit, just being a menace on that heavy Splatling. Cracking at the ready. Oh, and going down just like that. 2v2 and a hammer coming in from
gets so much value out of that hammer.
Wipeout.
Amazing. That's
Beautiful.
an excellent push there from Hammer. We were talking about what do you want for specials. Well, there you go. That hammer is going to pound its way into your base, and even had the power clam to score. They bring the score down to 44 points and more.
Always risk playing a weapon like Hammer that can get really easily shred by Splatlings and shooters alike, but its ceiling is frankly through the roof, Frag.
Absolutely, and gets one more clam in there before the basket closes up. Excellent push. We have one of the Krillion saying, we are not done yet, we are still in this. But now we have Weeee Squirts. It's their turn to try to make a counter push. We had a couple specials coming out. They're fighting for some control in mid. There's that Inkjet from Evolve again.
Still looking fairly neutral here in terms of map color, although a couple specials coming out with some chumps coming in, and 2 balls.
We had a jump with the. Oh, I'm so sorry with the camera. We had a jump. They do open the basket.
It looks like we might have lost a power climb in the process. Unfortunate. Oh, and then the soft wipe.
They do manage to get one follow-up clam in, but that will give the enemy a pity clam for their use.
Taking into account penalty, it's still anyone's game here with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. It's been a very neutral looking game on the map. Just everyone playing so patiently, waiting for that right moment to push in. You see 3 specials ready on each team right now. Enough clams to make a power, but not much for follow-up, Brad.
That's right. They want to make sure that they have their special lined up. They want to make sure they have their clams lined up before they make a push. You want to have all your stars aligned and all your ducks in a row, if you want to go with that, before you jump in. I think we have another jump coming in here. We have Evolve is under the basket.
Yes. Evolve playing very aggressively now, really making good use of the quick kill time of the Tri-Slosher, but they're not quite able to get their power clam in, forcing IHOP to back up while control is regained by one in a Krillion.
Very daring play there. You have to give them respect for that. They almost pulled it off. One of the Krillion just has just enough range and defense there to prevent that tactic from working. Back to this very neutral game. They're just fighting for control in mid. Just hoping to get that first pick to give one team an advantage. We have Captain IHOP here. I'm sorry, Admiral IHOP. I don't want to demote him there. Known for playing very forward and very aggressive as a backliner. Here he is. Oh, almost got the trade with but says, no, I'm going to hammer my way back into your base. Gets 2 picks. Throws it.
AO getting a pick as well with his own hammer.
I can't tell if Iz got the triple or I don't think it was just a double. I think it was just the double.
We had two hammers right after one another, but we still don't have a power clam on the side of one and a Krillion. But with 32 seconds left, they really just have to play defense at this moment.
Yeah, Krillion is very happy with their position right now. Like as you say, they just have to play defense. They're playing the clams economy game pretty well. In fact, Weeee the Squirts has 0 clams on the board. Trying to gather something up, trying to make a power clam so they can get an overtime.
Inching forward 7 clams, but not quite enough. Didn't have enough clams to push it into overtime. With game 3 now going to 1 and a Krillion, starting to even up the score there, showing that 1 and a Krillion is still very much in this match.
Absolutely. Those were fantastic pushes from the side of 1 and a Krillion. And honestly, I think the defense is what won them this game because we had Weeee the Squirts made 2 really solid pushes. I think both times they tried to use that tactic of jumping in with power clams, but 1 and a Krillion just had enough players, enough specials, enough firepower and range to shut that tactic down.
Not to mention a main of quick super jump from both Andy K and Iz. I just noticed there at the end. Maybe they know something that we don't.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that the specials that both teams chose were well suited to that. Let's see, what are we going into for the next game?
We got Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track, an old classic.
Absolutely.
Now with less Tentamissiles.
Yes, well, we take that. We take that.
Yes.
Yeah, Humpback
So,
Zones.
Frag, I expect to see Tentamissiles in this match.
Probably. I do think that we have seen some Tentamissile weapons from these teams in the first week. Yeah, those backliners I don't think are going to be switching off of that. I do know that Onigiri can play. It's kind of funny. She also plays Zap as well as Sploosh. So she's got both ends of the spectrum covered there in terms of range. Admiral IHOP is really Splatling's main. He has a number of Splatlings at his disposal. So I would imagine that we see those weapons come back out. What sorts of specials, what sorts of weapons are you looking for here, Fat, on Splat Zone's Humpback?
Speaking of Splatlings, I could see a Hydra Splatling coming out. I think the Booyah Bomb and the range could be really valuable on this, plus having an extra bomb, just getting a little extra paint, and maybe trying to get a little sneaky kill inside one of the trenches. I could honestly see, if we're looking at some more sword play, perhaps a Wiper Deco, something with beacons just to get back in. We're not talking the longest swim from spawn to mid, but it's certainly not a short one, and with the map being as wide as it is, I could see beacons being valuable, and the aforementioned Tentamissiles.
Absolutely, lots of places to hide beacons and sneak in jumps on this map.
Alright, game 4, Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track. We have Hydra Splatling, Trislosher, NZAP89, and T-Tech. And we have T-Tech, Custom Jet Squelcher, the Trislosher Nouveau, and still with the L3D.
So I believe this is the first time we're seeing Juice come out on either side for this set. That's become a really popular special in the competitive scene, so we'll see if they're able to really make a lot of use out of that special here.
Certainly. Juice being quite a nice counter to some of the oppressive specials and backliners. You're not so worried about going down to an inkjet if you're back fast. We've got both teams with getting some points on the board with an early lead from Weeee the Squirts, managing to hold quite well and flip back to 1 and a Krillion frag.
That's right. The points are ticking down now for 1 and a Krillion. They have really good map control here. They have the enemy coming off spawn. Everybody's coming off spawn, and we do get a lead flip. Now, if you are Weeee the Squirts, you are hoping to build some special, come in with some special, and synchronize it so you're all coming in together. Sushi getting a quick pick, putting them down 4-3, but the score is still ticking. They're only now able to pause it.
There's that Booyah and that Inkjet, that coordinated special push, just following the Super Chumps, and that's going to give them flip. But we have a really sneaky flank coming from Andy K, coming behind, taking one with the ball.
Combine that with Ao's hammer. That was an amazing push, and now they're all down to Admiral IHOP. He also goes down. Also goes down. We have some preemptive ink strikes coming out, so that try to slow down Weeee the Squirts as they're coming back in. Meanwhile, one of the Krillion has a lot of penalty points that they have to work through, but I do see that juice has been popped.
See more hammers coming in from AO. Very aggressive plays. Oh, unfortunately getting shut down by the Hydra Splatling. A hammer's worst nightmare frag.
Absolutely. Yeah, those hammers, I've never been able to really make much out of them because of that. I always feel like I get picked off whenever I pull out a hammer. So currently they are fighting for control in mid. It's not going in either team's favor. Does Weeee the Squirts... Okay, now it's counting down for Weeee the Squirts. A little momentary pause there. Look at Admiral IHOP, has very forward position here. Takes out one. Gets a couple hits on a second. They are not letting one of the Krillion off this plat. Admiral IHOP does go down, but Weeee the Squirts maintain control of mid.
Yeah, we saw some very similar positioning earlier today from a fellow Hydra Splatling player, OP, getting into that elbow on Humpback Pump Track. However, after a couple of nice picks, we got one in the Krillion once again flipping the zone, almost counting through all of their...
Yeah, that's right. Again, Weeee the Squirts, we want to see that same sort of push that we saw earlier, where they come in with specials. Here they come. I see Chumps. I hear Booyah. Are they going to be able to flip the zone? They don't get control quite yet. They want to put that penalty points on one of the Krillion so they can stop this points from ticking down.
AO coming in with the flank, 2 going down, and then a hammer coming in. Very nice.
One in Krillion has control. AO gets the double. 1 minute left. Incredible.
AO getting another pick on Inkachu. There's the flip with 50 penalty points added. 50 seconds left in the game.
Admiral IHOP coming through the windows, going to lay down a lot of paint on that zone and make it very difficult for anybody to approach the side of Weeee the Squirts. However, there's a Tri-Slosher that has something to say about that.
One in the Krillion doing a nice job holding things down. Got some opposing specials here. 3 in a row. Do we see the flip one more time in the last 20 seconds?
Coming out of the final moments here.
Hammer has anything to do with it. And there's the flip. Game's not over.
Weeee the Squirts has very good positioning on the map.
Oh, wait. Ooh, going down. Nice picks from his.
Weeee the Squirts desperately trying to hang on to control of the zone.
Still anyone's game. They're 4 up. One in the Krillion is 2 down.
Just 9, 8. They're ticking through their final penalty points here. If you are one of the Krillion, you have to do something quick to capture that zone.
Unfortunately, one of the Krillion could not quite make it happen. A little trickle in at the end means that game 4 will go to Weeee the Squirts.
I don't think either team could be unhappy with the way they played that game. That was really phenomenal playing there from both sides. We saw a lot of coordination and especially of their specials and flanking. These are 2 really potent teams, Fat.
Absolutely. And let's just take a moment here to remind you of our stream sponsor, Tentamissiles. They brought what back to the game?
It's so funny you say that. I'm not sure that we saw Tentamissiles. You know what we did see in that game? We saw Super Chumps. Oh man, one of my favorite new specials.
It's a fun one. It definitely one that has, I think, hasn't had a lot of equity in the competitive scene, but I think as more and more teams get used to playing them and learning their strengths and their niches, we could see more opportunities for them to pop up.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so the teams are getting ready to go into what is this, game 5, match point for We the Squirts. And what map do we have here? Oh, now it's ship shape tower.
Ship shape tower control, a fun new map with paintable walls, and
What a concept.
what a novel concept, Frank.
Yeah, I like the fact that this map has multiple routes through the map. Especially on tower control, it's fairly flat. So again, this is going to really favor both of the backliners on these teams. They're going to like that. However, we also have lots of skirmishers and slayers playing shorter range weapons, things like Slosher that's going to wreak havoc on the drops and ledges in this map.
I could definitely making a return here. Tri-Slasher having been a very popular pick among the teams in this tournament, just for its slaying power, having access to two very different but both good kits, and I could even see the possibility of other Sloshers making an appearance here, things that can get ledges and rain down the pain.
I'm just curious to see what does AO play next, because he has such a deep selection of weapons to use. You know, one we haven't seen quite yet is the dualies with the crab tank. So I wonder if they'll choose that for the range on this map.
We have to wonder no longer. We have Hydra Splatling 52 gal, Splattershot Jr., and the Vanilla Tri-Slosher on the other side, going back to Gluga Doolies, Splattershot, Splashomatic, and again the Inkline Tri-Stringer.
There's that Inkline
looks like
Tri-Stringer.
the same comp that we had on the first map for One in a Krillion.
That's right. I think that they're probably looking at the mode tower control, and they're probably going with the comp that they're most comfortable for that. Looks like we have We the Squirts are gaining a pretty good advantage here at the start of the game, pushing one of the Krillion all the way back onto their plat.
Absolutely. It looks like we have just gotten past our first checkpoint here, rounding the bend back into the enemy port with specials coming off the tower.
And there is that crab tank I was talking about. This time it's coming from Onigiri, and that was able to at least slow down We the Squirts in their push here. One in the Krillion, 2 down. Look at that pick from Admiral IHOP, amazing. Another one, he's on the tower now. It's looking really good for We the Squirts. They have excellent positioning, and they have all of One in a Krillion coming off of spawn right now. Onigiri managing to stay alive and get a pick. Coming back in to try to take the tower. Evolve.
Staying alive somehow.
And getting 2 picks. Incredible. Amazing. Amazing. Way to stay with it. You know, that's always a question. You know, when you're last, do you fight it out or do you jump back? And in that case, I would say you made the correct decision of fighting it out.
Yeah, generally Tri-Slosher, hold forward and shoot is usually the right answer in my experience.
And there's Evolve getting control of the tower again.
Making quick work on the tower.
A combination of Crab Tank and Booyah Bomb will give One in a Krillion another push here. However, Admiral IHOP is holding down the right bridge. He's not going to let anybody touch that tower unless they do something about it.
Another pick by Sushi here, clearing out mid.
And a pick from Admiral IHOP. It looks like one in Krillion is at a major disadvantage right now in terms of numbers, waiting for people to jump in. You're gonna have to figure something out, Fat, to get around the Hydra and the specials that Weeee the Squirts are using on this map.
Yeah, at this point, some of the Slayers on Weeee the Squirts are pretty happy to take a trade with this much of a points advantage. Pikachu riding tower just inching forward.
AO gets some critical picks on the tower. They clear the tower, just have Evolve left in mid. They go down as well. Huge play from AO, bringing one of the Krillion back into this game.
This could be their opportunity here with Chumps coming out. A lot of blue ink pushing into the court of Weeee the Squirts. AO going very deep, getting a pick on Sashi. And still skirmishing here with Evolve. Hoping to get at least a trade here, I imagine. One of the
Krillion finally trying to get through checkpoint 1, but Admiral IHOP says no, he's going to take out Andy K, and they get the wipeout. One of the Krillion still stuck at that checkpoint.
Minute and a half left. There's time here. Still time to get through that checkpoint, but they're going to need to make some moves fast, Brad.
That's right. They are taking some pretty aggressive positioning here. They do not want Weeee the Squirts to have any semblance of a push going on here. Right now, Onigiri is pretty isolated. Here comes an AO to try to help with the splash wall. We have 2 splash walls, one from each side. AO fighting it out, goes down, but gets a trade. Admiral IHOP is just putting out punishing firepower from his Hydra as the Weeee the Squirts are racing in to get at the knockout, Fat.
Yes, Weeee the Squirts continuing to put on pressure. Pressure's been the name of their game plan. This whole set and the wipeout on their side.
There's another wipeout on the side of Weeee the Squirts.
Down.
They are so close to knocking this game out and winning the whole set.
And there it is. With Game 4 going to Weeee the Squirts. A tremendous showing from one in a Krillion. Couldn't quite make it there in the end. Good games to both teams. And an excellent end, quote unquote, to week 3.
That's right. This is the
we do have 2 more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
2 more games down the pipe.
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
We do have 2 more games coming down the line here for week 3, but we'll be week 2. We'll be starting week 3 tomorrow. Frag, as a spectator, how's this tournament going for you so far?
Well, Fat, all you have to do is look at the results. Week 1, we had so many teams go 4-3. We had so many sets go to Game 7 in the first week. And we have amazing matchups like this one. Not a single game in this set was easy for either team. These are really, really competitive teams, and they're matched really well. It just makes for some of the best Splatoon viewing, Fat. It's really great to see all these people that we know competing with each other, building teams, and learning more about competitive Splatoon.
It can't be understated the amount of work that has gone in to preparing for this on the part of all the teams competing. Lots of individual practice, whether it be open matches, PBs, scrimmages, some teams even going outside of the server to find scrimmages to prepare for the matches. Lots of planning, spreadsheets, videos being passed, watching back VODs, all things that take place in a competitive environment. It's very clear that despite this being a relatively low stakes tournament, people are still taking it seriously and really devoting themselves to the competitive side of Splatoon, whether they're seasoned veterans or newcomers. Frag.
That's right, Fat. They are putting it all on the line. What is? Yeah. So do we have one more game?
We're doing a little picture, I believe.
Okay. All right. It's photo time. Photo time.
Photo op time. And just to make a quick announcement before we go, we are at the end of week 2, although we do have 2 more week 2 matches been rescheduled. The way this work for you viewers out there is that we will be still streaming them on this very Twitch channel, but we will be starting the week 3 matches this coming week. The week 3 matches will be a whole different set of maps, while the week 2 ones will loop back to the set of maps that you've been seeing in this past week. Thank you, Frag. Big shout out to all the tournament TOs, as well as sponsors Inkling, Tri-Stringer, and Tenta Missiles. Gulp.